the sky. In the city of angels, feels like I'm coming home. With my head up in the clouds, I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. 'Cause I wanna be in, not out, wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now, gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star.
But it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be. Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. And though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. For you. For
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. I was a little under the weather last week, so I pretty much just lost a week. I didn't really do anything. I kind of just slept and sweat and coughed, and it was just a bad week. Ended up having the flu. I got these little light dots on me. So the sun is in the middle of going down right now. It's in the spot, and this is where I'm in focus, is right here. So I'm going to sit back here and try to wait for the sun to go away. But might have to shut some curtains for next week. But that's new. It probably was there last week, but I was sick last week, so ended up taking my daughter to a cheerleading competition the Friday before, and I think I got something. Thought I had COVID for a couple days, but didn't end up having COVID, just had the flu. Fever broke on Thursday, I think. Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then I've been recovering ever since. If I laugh too hard tonight, I might start wheezing. That's about the only thing that's left. I still have some kind of junk in my lungs. But yeah, here, good spirits, all caffeinated. Hopefully we'll have a good show tonight. I don't have anything planned at all for tonight. I wanted to make it kind of a free-for-all if you guys wanted to come in and chat with me. If nobody shows up, I'll just figure out what to talk about for an hour. Looks like we got a lot of people in the chat already. We've got the first one in the chat today was Bob Casey. But he hasn't been back, I don't think. So Bob Casey commented at 3:42 today. Then we got Eat More Possum is in the house. Stephen Drones is in the house. Jim is in the house. Jim's droning. Mike Renek is in the house. And I think that's all I've seen so far. But you guys are chatting away. Looks like Steve had to chop down a tree that he planted, 46 years ago or something? 42 years ago. So had to chop that tree down. So we might watch that video tonight if nothing else cool happens. I was able to, when I was sick, I was able to play around with the Insta360 One RS. Love that little guy. And so I'll be putting some more videos out about that. Planning on it this week. It's been kind of the weather's been kind of weird here. It's been, so my daughter planted a garden in the backyard with my dad, and every night we've been getting frost warnings. It's like, what is it, April 19th or something? Yeah, it's like almost May, and we're still getting frost warnings here. But then it'll get up to like the 70s during the daytime. So it's one of those times where I don't know whether to turn the air conditioner on or the heat. I wish that was all regulated in my house, but it's not. There are schedules on there, so I might try to see if I can adjust the schedule a little bit. I really want to just put a temperature on there and then my house figure it out. But our thermostats are smart, but they're not that smart. So we'll figure that out. Right now I'm pretty comfortable in my office, but I might start sweating in the next hour. I'm drinking some hot coffee. I don't know if you guys saw the new Thor poster. I'm thinking about making a t-shirt. It'll take a little bit of time. That's based on that Thor Love and Thunder poster. I love the font and the kind of 80s treatment. It'll definitely look like an old school shirt from the 80s. But with Thor up on top of the mountain, I think it'd be really cool to have a guy with FPV goggles on top of that mountain, So anyway, I don't know how detailed it'll be, but I really like the way it looks. So I might do something kind of like it. Spreadshirt doesn't like parody t-shirts, so my Drone Bros shirt got taken down for copyright, even though I didn't break any rules. I didn't break any laws. But they don't like parodies on there because it's kind of, I could very easily have taken that idea from somewhere else and all that kind of stuff. So you guys are chatting it up. So I have missed a lot of stuff in here. I think you guys are just talking about Steve's tree. Brent's glad to hear that I'm feeling better, so that's good. Yeah, I planted a tree this weekend. My house is 3 years old now, and so I dug up this holly. Yeah, it was a holly bush that was in the front, kind of in the front landscaping area, front of the front porch, and there's 5 holly bushes there, and one is just dead. And I feel like it's the only one that gets like full sun, so I think it's getting way too much sun. So I dug it up and I put it in the backyard, kind of where all the trees are. So hopefully it'll get some shade and maybe come back to life a little bit. But I had this big gaping hole in the front. I just kind of covered it up with dirt until I could figure out what to do with it. And I looked on Facebook, my neighborhood's Facebook group, and someone was giving away an evergreen tree, like an arbor, something. And the same people that built their house built my house. And so I know the landscaper just had like a template that they just put in everybody's yard. So I was like, I bet that tree matches the other tree that they put in there. So now I have like 2 little Christmas trees next on my front porch, which is pretty cool. I planted it a little crooked. It was one of those where the tree was just heavy enough, like with the ball of dirt, it was almost more than I could lift. So yeah, I'm putting all my strength and getting it in the ground. And then I stepped back, and I was kind of tired and didn't want to get my shirt dirty and all that kind of stuff. And so I kind of stood back and I was like, yeah, that's good enough. It'll start pointing towards the sun at some point. So it's a little crooked in one direction, but we'll see how that goes. I might dig it up and put a rock down in there or something just to keep it from being cattywampus. But yeah. So I invited a bunch of people in here. I don't know if anybody's going to show up tonight, but I'm hoping somebody does, so we'll have something to talk about. But I think for the last 10 minutes, I've been rambling, so it's working out. So Jim said 80-mile-an-hour winds. Well, let me read that. I'll just put it up here. 80 miles per hour winds here had 8-foot fence blow on top of him and damage a guy's truck. So your fence blew on top of you? That's crazy. We had, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, we had tornado come through here. Well, almost tornado. It was probably the closest we've come to a tornado this year. So Steve says it's cold and windy in Connecticut. Jim's watching me on a new 4K monitor. Sorry, my live stream isn't in 4K, but that's awesome. I don't like these little things on my face, but that's all right. I'm trying to think what my monitors are. I think both of my monitors are HD that are in front of me. The one back there, well, the TV is a 4K, so that TV is 4K TV, and then this monitor is like 1440, I think. What I love about this monitor, I got this off Facebook Marketplace. It is a special HP monitor that has Beats speakers in the side of it. So the sound coming out of that monitor is ridiculous. And the picture is actually really, really good. So I have my MacBook Pro. On normal days, I have my MacBook Pro hooked up to it, and that's what I use to work during the day. And then I will put my entertainment on the TV. So that's good. And then my MacBook Pro, I don't even really know what the resolution is. But it has a Retina screen on it. Everything looks good on that monitor, but it's only a 13-inch laptop. So, okay. Jim said the fence blew over on a friend. So Jim's droning's his Asus is about $349 on Amazon. Sweet. I don't even know what these two monitors are. LGs. I got them at Electronics Express. They were doing, it was at Christmas time, and they were on clearance. And I wanted to build like a monitor wall, and I got two of them, thinking I was going to get. And that was back then when I had an iMac. So I had a 27-inch iMac 5K in the middle, and then I had, these are two 27-inch monitors on the left and right, but they're only HD. But I at the time I had 5K in front of me, so these monitors over to the left and right were just extra monitors that I'd watch YouTube videos and stuff like that on. It really helps when you're video editing. I set my proxies to 1080, and then that way I'm editing a 1080 proxy instead of editing a 4K video. So editing goes by a lot quicker when I do that, because I don't really need to see how good a quality the video is when I'm editing it. There are times when I tweak the video, but usually that's color, like contrast and saturation and stuff like that. But when you're doing that, you don't really need your video to be any sharper than it already is. So it's not like, working with Photoshop, working with editing images, I'll zoom in on those pixels, and I'll, like if I'm getting a zit off somebody's face or something like that, I'll get right up in there. But when I'm editing video, for the most part, I'm looking for framing, and you can't really get much better than the video that you took. So I generally try to take good video from the start, so that way I don't have to doctor it later. But this year I am planning on I'm trying to get a cinema camera. I don't know if I'm going to get the R5C or the C70 from Canon. But I really want to get into, I want to not be strictly drones on my channel, because if you pigeonhole yourself into a specific market, then you kind of get stuck. Like, the ball is in DJI's court, and the ball is in Parrot's court and Unique. And so I'm just kind of waiting for them to do something so I can put something interesting on my channel. I want to get away from being controlled by the market and just put out really good videos. So the plan is to get a nice camera and learn everything about it, learn every button on it, and teach you guys, how to make better video and how to make better. It's kind of what I've been doing with the club anyway, trying to kind of improve everybody's creativity and improve everybody's skills. So as we make videos together as a community, we can all learn from each other. Jim's Droning said he's been using DaVinci recently. I went to DaVinci when I bought this PC that I'm coming to you live on, but haven't really. I went back to Final Cut because for me the workflow is so much simpler. If I was doing production, or if I was shooting weddings and I had clients that depended on me to make amazing videos, then I would probably get into the color grading and stuff like that. I might get into that anyway with getting a C70 or something like that. But the Final Cut Pro and Max, it's a wonderful workflow, and they're beautiful video. And I might get into some Logic. I might start doing some audio production for you guys too. So that might be kind of fun. I just need something different to spark my interest. And this was all coming from last week, not doing a thing, laying on my butt in my bed. Well, not laying on my butt well, I guess I was on my butt in my bed. But last week I had a lot of time to just think. I took a couple of days off work. I didn't do the live stream last week, so doing this live stream for you guys takes some effort and takes some time. So not doing all of that last week, it kind of gave me some time to reflect. And I've gotten kind of down because I'm not, I don't get free stuff from companies, and I don't get cameras before they're available. I am very good at reviewing stuff. I'm very good at knowing what they do, knowing what they should do, knowing what you can get out of them. And I feel like I'm creative enough to not do the regular video. Like, I feel like watching some of these videos, like they all just watch each other's videos and they just repeat what each other is saying. Like this whole Mini 3 that's coming out. Like, I could talk to you guys about that, but the Mini 3 is not really on my radar. I really don't care about it. I thought the first Mini was really cool. And maybe for my son, it would be a great little first drone. Like the Spark, DJI Spark really, really turned me on because it was such a great little toy drone that was kind of indestructible to me. But as a creator, it's not something it's not a tool that I would use to create with. I've got so many drones that are more capable than that Mini is going to be, that are just as compact, in my opinion. The only benefit that the Mini 3 has, in my opinion, is the fact that you don't have to register it. And that in itself kind of frustrates me. It's like driving a car that you don't have to get a license for, but you're still out on the road with all the other cars. I don't know. Anyway, so Stephen Jones says Fillmore is easy to use. Jim, did you say you're interested in the Mini 3? I'm not, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the Mini. Please don't get that. But I feel like, and I said this about the DJI FPV drone. I told you guys I wasn't interested, and then I bought one and I love it. So I would pretty much fly anything that I can get my hands on. That's how much I love flying. And I love flying, but I love getting the video from it. I would say that, like, at the heart, I am a video creator. That's where my heart is. And I feel like I could do that with drones or cameras or action cameras. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to get a Osmo again. I really like the Ronin 4D, but that's really expensive. But I don't know. I'm also thinking about camp. We got camp coming up in a couple months, and I'm on the worship team as well. So I'll be on stage singing and videoing the camp, the campers as well. So we'll probably have a couple 4K cameras on the stage pointing in different directions, and then I will be doing some fancy editing later. Whereas in the past, I have been in the crowd recording, and I can point the camera at whatever I want to. I don't have the luxury of doing that this time. So I'm going to point one at the stage. I'm going to point one or two at the kids, and then try to do some fancy editing after that. But I'm trying to figure out kind of automation before I go to camp. I want to have kind of a camera kind of pan back and forth or go up and down. I even thought about doing putting the viral cam from the soundboard is up on the second floor, and you kind of look down over everybody. So I thought about doing the viral cam from the soundboard all the way down to the stage and just have it going back and forth to do some really cool dolly shots. But who knows? And I thought about doing that with this guy, with the 1-inch edition. And I'll be interested to see. I want to do a low light test is one of the tests that I'm going to do. And I'm going to compare the 1-inch edition to the 1 RS. So there's some interesting things that come up in the settings, and it talks about like don't use HDR in low light situations or something like that. So I'm gonna have to go through and just kind of run through exactly what that's all about. But this is that's the family. But just love that I have all these different cameras that I can get different types of video out of. And it's the, yep. I love being able to do a whole bunch of different things with those cameras. So before camp gets here, I might just buy a couple more batteries and stuff like that. So Jim said the HDR is for full sun. I would say the HDR is for full sun plus shadows. The whole so the point of HDR video is so that your highlights aren't overexposed and your shadows aren't underexposed. So if you think about like you've got a range of what your eyes can see, and then what HDR does is it sees some of this over here and it sees some of this over here. And that might be just a good video. I think I might go take my camera out and take some HDR video or HDR pictures and show you guys what HDR really means from a Photoshop standpoint. And it really, really helps to understand exactly what to do with your HDR camera. What's up, So Ill? Welcome. I think that's Dustin. Everybody keeps changing their names on me, and it's not helping this old man. Pretty sure that's Dustin. But like HDR stands for high dynamic range, and I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm just going to explain it. And so how I used to take HDR images is I used to do it manually. And if you like you have exposure brackets on your camera, so like regular, and just think about it like with sunglasses, like regular is 0, and then like you can go to -2, and that's like putting sunglasses on. And when you put it to -2, you can see more details in the clouds. Like if it's a bright day, you can see clouds, you can see the sun. And then if you do +2, then that's like turning a flashlight on. So you can see it completely washes out the sky, but gives you the opportunity to see more shadows and more details in the shadows. And so what HDR does is I used to do it with 5 images, but we're just going to do 3 for now. You do like one that's really, really overexposed, and that'll give you all the details in the shadows. And then you combine it with the regular picture, and then you do the one that's underexposed. That'll give you your sky. And when you take those 3 images, you pull the best out of each one. So you've got all the details in the sky, you've got all the details in the shadows, and then you've got all the mid-range details, and you combine them all together to make this kind of surreal picture. It's not really what a normal thing would, not what a real picture would do. So that's a long explanation, Jim. And I see with your comment that you understand that completely. But to do that with video, it's very complex. And, if you think about like, even let's just go 30 frames per second. Like that is, if it's done with three different videos, it's taking, 30 times 3. So it's taking 90 images in a second. And the fact that it's doing it in the camera, it's doing it like on the fly. And it's also stable. So the reason HDR video has been so tricky, I had HDR video on my Paradenofi, and that video turned out pretty cool. But it was on a gimbal. But this guy is not on a gimbal. So if you're shaking it around, it's taking those 3 images and then using artificial intelligence to put all 3 of those, like stabilize all 3 of those videos at the same time. Like it's doing a lot to do. And I think that's why there's like a warning not to do it in low light situations, because it's very complex for what it's doing. All right, I got Ill's name right. Good. Pretty sure that was, I was pretty sure that was Dustin, but last week was a blur for me, so I'm recovering. So it looks like all of the little sun dots are not on my face anymore, so I can sit focused. So what have y'all been up to? Y'all have a good Easter? Did y'all do any crazy Easter egg hunts with grandkids or kids or yourself? I'm diabetic, so all these holidays that are surrounding chocolate, they're not the best for me. But every year I have to have me one of those Reese's eggs. That's my kryptonite. So this intrigues me. Did you see the Insta360 Cube? We're going to look that up right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share what's going on here. So the Insta360 Cube I don't understand that. I don't think that's real. Is that real? Is this supposed to be real? Because I see, you guys see my mouse? Yeah. So we've got changeable lens cover. We've got the core. We've got a battery base. And then we've got another base. I really don't think that's real. But I see the word fake up here. Insta360 Cube fake. Until I see it in person, I'm going to call bull crap on that. You knew it was fake before you had me do it on my show? Nice. Yeah. I think that's a great concept. Yeah, if you didn't need the core. I mean, if I was hoping that whenever, before I saw the RS, I need to look at y'all. Before I saw the RS, I was hoping that Insta360 was going to do with the One RS. I was hoping they were going to do the same thing that DJI did with the Action 2, where I was hoping that this was going to be the One RS, and they were going to somehow put batteries in the lens mod and put a battery in here. And so the camera would work like this, and then the camera would work. I can't do that without looking at it. The camera would look like this as well. I was really hoping that that's how it was going to turn out, but it didn't. And then when I saw the cube image, I was like, oh, they did do it. And then I was let down yet again. I can't get this back on my live stream. But yeah, I think that would be wonderful. I would really like the VR 180 version of it. That's the only thing I don't have that I really, really wanted. I also thought about getting another DJI Action. Another DJI Action 2, and making a 360, or not a 360, but making a VR 180 version. But anyway, I did not do that, and probably won't. I'm starting to work on summer camp, so I'm really trying to get a cinema camera for that. But if I don't get a cinema camera for that, I'll be okay with what I have. Camp might be done with a bunch of action cameras this year, since I've got them all. So So yeah, well, I was expecting someone to show up tonight, but nobody showed up, so that's okay. It's about 7:15. We are going to hang out and talk for a while. Has anybody started planning their Project Liquid video? Or are we just waiting for the month of May? I haven't got one submission on the club yet, so hopefully you guys are putting some thought into this this new Project Liquid. I saw a really cool video today of someone doing an experiment where, you know, the experiment where you put Mentos and Coke. I saw a really cool video of someone taking a clear Rubbermaid container, and they filled it full of oil, and then they filled it with Coke, and then they put the Mentos in it, and it was making all these really cool, like the oil was keeping it from exploding, and so you could see a lot of really cool, like air, well, not air, but they were like different fluids kind of reacting around each other. And I thought that was a really cool video. I also saw another video, which is something I'm going to try. They did it with a fish aquarium, but they put a camera underneath the fish aquarium, and then they made really shine light through the top of it, and then or through the sides of it, and made some really cool wallpapers, or not wallpapers, but like screensavers with liquid, kind of like a lava lamp, if you guys remember lava lamps. But you know, they were using oil and different color fluids with water to make some really cool stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to do. And then I live around the lake. There's lakes all over where I live, so I might do like some really cool videos at the lake. So Mendez, what's up? Welcome to the chat. I didn't see you sneak in there. Hope you're having a good night. I'm having a good night. I am caffeinated and ready to roll. I was sick last week, so I wasn't able to do my live stream, so I just played a rerun. And so we are here and going, hanging out. It's interesting. I put on my Philips Hue lights. My scene that I had programmed in disappeared on my app. And so last week at the last minute, I clicked on one of the other ones, and my background has been changing colors through the whole thing. And I noticed watching my live stream the other day. So there's an animation going on my walls, and then there is a screensaver of drone flyby, which is kind of the Apple TV screensavers. So I'm really digging my backdrop. You can hate on it if you want to, but I like it now. So, and Melon seems to be working better now that I'm not running it on a laptop. I feel like Melon was utilizing my graphics card way more than it should have. So now that I have it on my gaming PC, everything is good to go. So Jim's idea is to have someone drive into a river to get a slow motion splash. That sounds fun. I'm not driving into a river anytime soon. I do think it'd be cool to have a vehicle I could drive into the river. Did you guys ever watch? There was a show. I don't remember if it was on the Discovery Channel or what. But it was called Junkyard Wars, and it had two teams, and they would have a mission, and they'd go through the junkyard to get parts to make this whatever they were making. And one of the videos, like Eat More Possum, kind of triggers this episode where they turned a pickup truck into a one of those machines that grabs a tree, like a nut tree, like a walnut tree or something, pecan tree, and then shakes it, and then all the nuts fall off, and then it catches it in on a blanket or on a tarp or something like that. But the other video that I was thinking of is they turned a Volkswagen Bug into a hybrid, not hybrid video. What's it called whenever it can go on land and sea? Amphibious vehicle, is that right? Maybe that's right. But so they made this Volkswagen Bug so that it would kind of transform into a boat when it got onto the water. And I always thought that would be so awesome. Especially like where I take my son to school. Like right now, like we have to, like, no matter how I go to take him to school, we have to go around a lake. We have to go over some bridge that goes over the lake. It's really beautiful drive every morning. But how cool would it be to, like, I think I could shave off about 10 minutes of our drive if I drove off of one boat dock, went right across the lake, and then got back on the other boat dock. I think it'd be so cool to do that every morning. But same with like a drone car. If we could just fly him to school, that would be awesome too. Another exciting thing that I did this last week was I got solar panels for our Blink cameras, and there is, on our back porch, there is a bird building a nest on top of on the cables that go from the solar panel to the camera. So I'm starting to get a bunch of videos of those birds building their new home. So I thought about putting together a montage of different bird videos from the back porch. So we might show that next week. But it's kind of funny, like, because I've only got it set to, I think, take 30-second clips. So there'll be a 30-second clip, and you'll get this little bird that'll just kind of like, wow, wow, and just like fly up into the camera and then go off. Pretty funny. So we might do something like that this week. I really want to get out and start testing the Insta360 One RS. And see if it does much different. I think the low light test is going to be a good one for me, and then the stabilization is going to be good. If the stabilization is better, then I don't know that it can be much better than it is already. But if what they've done and I think they've done is they've used it's got a better sensor, but I'm hoping they used one of their 360 lenses is what I'm hoping, because they've got wonderful technology when it comes to that. And it would be awesome if we could open the 4K boost lens, kind of like the Max lens does on the GoPro, where it unlocks the sphere. because all these lenses are pretty much spheres. But the problem is the sensors are usually rectangles. But it would be awesome if the sensor was a circle, and then you could record. You could record that. Jim said it's way better than the R. So we'll see what that's all about. I will say it's better than the. I don't know. I'm gonna wait to give my final evaluation until after I do some testing. What I feel is it's better than the 4K from the 1R, but I don't know that it's better than the 1-inch sensor version. I think the best camera, in my opinion, is going to be the 1-inch sensor on the new core. So that's what we're going for. That's what I think. But that's my personal, in my perfect world inside my head. Sometimes that doesn't translate to reality. 90% of the time I'm right, just because I've been doing this for a while. But Jim says he likes it better than the GoPro. So once I stop comparing the One RS to itself and the other Insta360 family, I'm going to start comparing it to DJI and GoPro. The other thing that I think is going to be interesting is I'm going to compare it to my Session. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to show you guys how far we have come. The Session is a great camera. Shoots 4K. I've used it when I was driving Uber. Like, I've hidden that camera at my son's guitar recital on the piano right behind him. And I've turned all the LEDs off, so you can hide that camera in little places and not get. It's always a struggle to do like multiple angles. I can't hide this thing anywhere because of that big red battery. But if I get the black battery, then I can hide that somewhere in the shadows. But I would love for someone to come out with a new Session. The Action 2 is okay. It's okay. But it has its purpose, and it's almost like it's a FPV camera as opposed to kind of a creative tool. And I like to consider myself a creative tool. See what I did there? But yeah, so that's some of the plans for this month. So Jim said I'll be impressed once I start using it. That is what I'm going to do this week. I am going to use it like crazy. I have a tripod that I wanted to show you guys in one of my next videos. It is, and I don't even remember the name of it. I bought it so long ago and I haven't reviewed it yet for you guys. But it is a tripod that extends automatically and can go back and forth and stuff like that. Planning on using it with that. So yeah, that's that. So More Possum saying hello to Mendez. Mendez, if you well, I know you haven't already, but if you would like to hang out with us, I started a club on the internet, and it's kind of like a Facebook Twitter type thing where you post images and videos and stuff like that. But it's kind of a private club that I started for us to share videos, for us to. It's kind of like a forum where we can. It's a safe place that we could all learn how to create things better. And I see that you've got drone ops in your name, so there's definitely a lot of drone videos on there. And we're starting to do it every 2 months, but oh, Eat More Possum is in the house. I didn't even see you there. So I'll talk about the club and then I'll bring Brent in. But what it is, it's a place for us to hang out. And every 2 months I do a contest. The contest that's going on right now is called Project Liquid. So you make a 2.5 minute video of something that's liquid. It could be flying your drone over the lake, or could be a slow motion waterfall, or it could be mud puddles, or whatever. And you'll present the video, and then at the end of May we're going to vote. We're going to put open up voting for a week, and everybody in the club can vote on their favorite video, and then the winner after that gets a free t-shirt. I'm a graphic designer, so I've got a drone shop and I've got my personal merch with my logo on it. But I've got several different designs. You can pick out your color, your size, tell me which one to order if you win, and I will order it for you and send it to you. So pinned in the live chat, there is a link to the club. I would love for you to click on that link and join the club and hang out with us. All right. And that goes for anybody that's new here. But let's bring Brent on and see what he wants to say. Ooh, that's a face right there.
Wow.
What's up,
Zoom.
man?
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, let me zoom out a little bit. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good. I'm glad you're feeling better. You hear me? Loud and
Yep.
clear? All right, cool. Hey, you mentioned that tripod that moves up and down.
Yep.
Now that you mentioned, I remember when you pulled that out briefly when you first got it. It's been several months ago, right?
It's been a while. Yeah. I think I was doing it for I got it during Project B-roll. And that was going to be my B-roll video.
That's right. Yeah.
And I used it with the Action 2, but I never put the video up. So there's one of those times where I accidentally had the time lapse on the Action 2. I had the wrong setting. So I spent 2 hours videoing footage that ended up turning into like a 15-second clip.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so upset. And I was like, phew. So then I went out and made the second video was where can you stick it? Where I stuck it on the, went around the playground and used the magnet and stuck it to everything that was metal. And so.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
That was day 2 of that excursion. Day 1 was a waste. I had some great shots too. I had it like going through like logs at the lake, and I had all kinds of cool stuff. Never to see the light of day.
Yeah, I haven't been able to fly much because of the wind. It's been windy here for almost a month straight. I mean, like 20 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But I did take the Mavic 2 up during like 35, 40 mile per hour gusts.
Oh, wow.
Because there was a wildfire where had to go up to see if it was heading towards the house. But the Mavic 2, I just went straight up. I didn't dare go anywhere, but
yeah,
it held its own pretty good.
Did it?
Yeah, and I got to fly. I can't fly my little FPV drones because, they'll whisk away and disappear.
Yeah, they'd be flying off pretty far.
I need to check on my batteries. I don't know. Make sure they're not discharged or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to fly. I tried to do a review on was it the Tello? It is DJI, but it's not. I forget what.
A little bitty, yeah.
Yep. I flew that outside and it was a waste. It was just it was like flying a little toothpick around. So you got your train behind you now. You liking that green screen?
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Looks like you have like an invisible, like the wires going up to your headphones, or it looks like
Yeah.
they're
I
probably
need,
reflecting the green screen, so they have green on them.
I could put green tape on them, like green electrical tape.
There you
I
go.
wonder if that would work.
Probably
Yeah,
will.
I did learn that having too bright of a light on your green screen causes a glow. So
Yep.
it took me a little while to figure that out.
Yeah, you need a light on your green screen, and then you need a different light on your head, like a backlight that's right, kind of like what I've got going on with this
Yeah,
light right here.
yeah.
If it shoots the back of your head, it'll
Oh,
put this nice white line around your head.
that's a good
I
thing,
would,
right?
yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, yeah.
Like right now, you've got like your white trucker hat on, so all the white will be really white, and it'll cover up all the reflection of the green light.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, because I have noticed reflection on certain surfaces.
Yep. I tried green screen so many times. The only time I got green screen to really work was outside, just because the sun was so,
Oh, okay.
like, everything was lit. But it's so hard to light yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then light the screen correctly and not get a shadow of, like, if you've got a light right here, it's going to cast a shadow on the
Yep.
green screen,
Yep.
and then it's a different shade of green, and then you've got like your tolerance of, like, like you dial it in, so like
Yes.
all of a
Yes.
sudden you dial it so much so the green screen's gone, and then like my eyes are green, so like my eyes would go away, or like, and my hair and my beard would have like these green, I'd have like just little holes on my head,
Mm-hmm.
or my shirt, like my shirt's blue, but when I dialed it enough, it made my shirt green, and all of a sudden my shirt would start going away, and so
It's hard enough to get one light source to be correctly dialed, and then now you got to deal with at least two. If you have one on each side of the green screen,
yeah.
illuminating that, and then hair light, and then a front-facing light. I guess ideally you want more than one front-facing light on your face. Like I've got an open
Well,
window over here.
yeah, so I've got that light, it's pointing that way, and then that light is pointing up at the ceiling, and so it's bouncing off.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And then these two monitors are pretty much white. Like one has YouTube on it and one has the club, and so they're generally all white. And then the one I'm looking at is black because I've got melon and dark mode. But
Yeah, I put melon in dark mode. Now it's in white mode. Light mode.
for a while I would put these really, like, my brand colors are blue and orange and red, so I'd have these really cool wallpapers that I'd put on my screen, but all of a sudden my face had this weird color to it, and so I realized that I needed to start, like, making all of my wallpapers white so that it was like another softbox right in front of
Yeah.
me.
Right. And a monitor would be a good softbox, right? It's a big screen. It's
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
dispersed. Yeah.
Yep, and a lot of them are matte, so it's soft. Jim said you look like Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Remember Nacho said I look like George W. Bush.
I think you look a lot more like Bush than Chevy Chase.
I wish I could do a Bush impression, but I'm no good at impressions.
You can't say like, uh,
I can say nuclear.
weapons of mass destruction. I don't remember. I remember
Saddam.
one meme where he was like, "Fool me once, shame on me. fool me twice. Well, shame on me again. And like he got it wrong. And oh, yep. And that's when we thought George W. Bush couldn't say anything right. I think he was an eloquent speaker compared to what we got now.
That's right. Good point.
I think Chevy Chase has let himself go. I don't think he looked like Chevy Chase looks now.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, you're right. I saw him.
He's turned into kind of a scary old man. So you got me all excited with that Insta360 Cube.
Yeah, I saw Jason Bardwell talking about it, and there was actually a response from Insta360 where they were denying any affiliation with it. Of course, companies have denied things before and then ends up releasing it, but
Yeah.
I think there was
like looking at those pictures, it is literally the 4K mod.
Yeah.
With like ND filters on the front of it. Like, so I think the RS would have had a lot more functionality in it if that was the case. But
you have a session, right? You were talking about it.
Yeah, I've got the Session 5. I used to have the Session 4, but it was just 10 or was it 2K? It wasn't 4K. And then I ended up upgrading to the 4K version. And then I thought it was the perfect camera. I was like, they can't make a better camera than that. And then all these companies started doing really cool stabilization, and now there's way better cameras than that. But yeah. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to hang this from my DJI Inspire. And this is like it's just three
mounts. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I know my Inspire can handle 3 cameras, but I don't.
Definitely.
I don't think my 3D printed little thing that hangs from the camera, I don't want to do it with that because I don't want to break my camera, my gimbal connection on the Inspire. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. If the landing gear didn't retract automatically, I know I can turn the landing gear off, but I don't want to accidentally come off the ground and my landing gear go up and all my cameras just rip off and fall to the ground. And so,
my Inspire, I had the camera mount. Did you buy that from me?
I bought your rear metal piece.
Okay. I had a mount screwed back there onto that, and that was real sturdy.
Yeah. I want to do like all 3. I really want to do them where the camera's supposed to go. I'm just trying to figure out a better way. It might handle 2, but anyway, I'm just trying to figure all that out right now. I also want to mount on top of the nose so that I can put one 360 camera on top and one 360 camera on the bottom and truly get the sky instead of taking a picture from the ground and then masking it in. But anyway, those are all what goes through my head while I'm on the toilet. Get my best ideas. So did you guys do anything for Easter?
Not a whole lot. Just hung out with the parents at their place.
Did you make anything special? Eat anything good?
As far as food?
Yeah.
Had ham. Had a ham, yeah.
I like ham.
Homegrown corn and cobbler, peach cobbler.
Ooh, sounds wonderful. There's a place here called Seven Sisters or Five Sisters, or anyway, it's a donut place that makes donuts like croissants. Like the donuts have like 100 layers.
Oh my
They
goodness.
lay the layers down, and then they stamp donuts out of it, and then they fry them.
Oh,
Oh, they're glorious. But they have like a cobbler donut that has like really thin layers of apple kind of wrapped around it, and uh, oh,
have you ever had a Kringle?
uh-uh,
It's like a Danish. Uh, they make them
uh-uh.
up in Wisconsin mainly. That's kind of like that. It's got the multi layers of thin dough,
Yeah,
and it's very delicate. It's delicious. But a donut, that's interesting.
that's really good, and they're big. They're like this big around. They're like $5 each. I mean, it's an expensive donut, um, but they're wonderful. And it's one of those places that they only make a certain amount because the process is so hard that they only make a certain amount of donuts, and so they'll open up at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and they'll just sell them until they're gone, and so they might be closed by 9:15.
Oh yeah.
Like you have to, and there's a line that goes all around the mall just to get to them. And the mall is like, it's the factory in Franklin, so it's like this old mattress factory that they turn into a mall. So there's a bunch of rust, and like it's just a really cool space. Um,
Yeah, I enjoy droning trains. I just don't get out there and do it much.
yeah,
Um, I notice the train nerds when they see train videos, if they're done well, even if they're not done so well, if it's this particular train they like, you can get a lot of hits from some train videos that to us, non-train nerds, it's a train.
yeah.
But some of those guys go crazy and really appreciate certain types of train videos. Like if you're in a train yard and they're switching cars and you film
Oh
that,
yeah.
that generates some interest. It's fun. I'm kind of a train nerd myself, so that kind of adds to the enjoyment. Did he say it was? Yeah, strawberry Kringle Danish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd ordered one. I think it was from Wisconsin. Hope a pecan Danish Kringle and a cherry for my mother's birthday. It's didn't last long. They're big. They're big, round, about the big as I don't know, a drone landing pad.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like a ring.
Let's see
I
what
think in
we
the
got here. Oh
I think in the,
gosh.
I think in the old country they were actually shaped like pretzels.
All right.
But I have yet to film a train with an FPV drone. That's something I want to do soon. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's huge. That's not at all what
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were talking about.
Mike's exactly right. Yeah, that's the hub. That's the hub of Kringles up there.
I think I might just have to order one.
I
It kind
forget
of
the
reminds me of like a king's cake, like
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
where you try to find the baby Jesus.
Yeah.
So weird.
And I'm drawing a blank on the company we ordered from, but there's plenty up there, I believe.
Yeah, this one looks pretty legit. You're talking about trains. This is a picture of the train station in Nashville that I took a long time ago.
Oh, I was thinking that was a model railroad, of course, since it's got the tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I made it like a tilt shift.
yeah, yeah. It fooled me. I said, "Oh, that's somebody's model railroad." That is cool.
Yeah, I really want to get for my Canon C100. I really want to get a tilt shift lens
Oh yeah.
and do some miniature scenes. Because this is taken. There's a walking bridge that goes between Nashville and the Titan Stadium, and so you can get up on that bridge
Hmm.
and get some really cool shots, like downward shots of Nashville, and just go to, in like any parking garage in Nashville, you can like look down on a
Oh
city
yeah.
street or whatever. Um,
Now, is this from the bridge or is this from a drone?
this is from the walking bridge,
Okay.
um, and
And I noticed with tilt shift lenses, you can also use that for architecture. That it'll straighten out the lines.
yeah,
Instead of having the bent sides of the building, you can tweak it. I didn't realize that until not too long ago.
yeah, I would love. I for years I wanted to get a lens baby. Um, this is from the same bridge. This is
Oh
the
yeah.
Pinnacle buildings built now, but and then my Crab Shack picture, I don't know where it's at. My Crab Shack image was like, oh, this was actually why I was coming to this page. This
Oh
is
yeah. There you go.
a train museum in Nashville,
Oh yeah.
and they just got all these trains just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
That'd be a good use for a tilt shift lens right there to keep the perspective straight.
yeah, yep. I love this picture because the rail. I don't know what kind of rail this is. I don't know if it's like where they change tracks or
Is that
whatever.
worn down? I mean, is that kind of
I don't,
worn?
I don't know. It's got like this thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah. You're right. That's a switch track, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, so this is the third track
Hmm.
where I think this splits right here.
Yeah, it's called a frog, I believe.
Does kind of look like a frog, but like I love like rust and metal and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So I sat my camera down on the rail and took the picture, and so you get this. It kind of focuses right here,
Yeah.
and then it's like almost out of focus over here. And then I think this is a chain link fence with like black ribbons in it, or like a black tarp that's like ripped up or something. Because you can tell there's a parking lot back there with like moving trucks.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was
I guess that's a pretty wide angle lens you're using there.
yeah, it was a fisheye lens. It was a manual lens. I was really into buying like Russian lenses for a while. So yeah, this was back. This is back before video. This is pre-video, Sean. This was my photo days.
They call it the Bat Building back there.
Batman building, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this building right here, this is right where that explosion happened on Christmas a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and it was right down the street from the AT&T building, which Bell South. It's been every phone company building. I don't know what
Yeah.
phone company it is right now, um, but yeah. So maybe that's what I'll do. Well, Project Liquid, it won't work out with Project Liquid, but I think the train station, the train depot in Smyrna might be a really cool place to do some testing with those cameras. because I want to compare like me moving with the cameras, but I also want to compare like something else moving. And so the train coming by might be a cool shot where I can compare colors, I can compare
Oh
contrast.
yeah.
There's so many colors on that train going by.
Yep. And the engines, usually depends on what company it is in their paint scheme. There's usually some, like the Burlington Northern behind me. That's nice bright orange
Yeah.
with some black and a little bit of yellow.
Yep. And there's like the bars that come down over the street that have the lights blinking on them, and it's probably a lot of cool stuff.
And test some motion blur and different frame rates as it's moving by, screaming by.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is like I don't know, it never stops there, so I don't have a schedule.
All right.
It's just like goes through, and then I can't change camera settings once it's happening. Like I got to have everything set up, hit record, sit back, get the train, and then we're good. There is a Nashville Star, which is like it's a commuter train that goes. I could probably get a schedule on that, but it's not interesting. Like it's not as interesting as the other trains. It's just a silver bullet. But yeah. Yeah, Dustin, I'm thinking about seeing if I can get there's some night what is it called? There's a night lapse option on the Insta360 cameras. I might try that out and see what that looks like. You can also get star trails with them, but it's hard for me to find a place without a bunch of light pollution. And the star trails aren't that long, so they're like it'll take like a 30-second picture and then another 30-second picture, and so we'll see what I can get out of that. But yeah. So are you going to do Project Liquid, Brett?
I have some fodder for it, some things in mind that I can use.
I think it'd be really cool if you could figure out how to milk a cow with your FPV drone. I think
that could be utterly disastrous.
Nice.
Might have some nippleless cows after that.
Yep.
I do have prop guards for my Mavic, which I've never used.
There you go. You could just tie strings around their udders and then fly back and forth.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Yeah.
Aiming it might be hard. Aiming it into a bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, when he was a kid, they used to get up really early to milk the cows, and my dad's a twin, and so him and his twin brother would be yawning, and my grandpa would squirt it right in their mouth. Nothing like some warm udder milk to wake you up.
Yeah.
That's my only milking story, because I've milked a cow and I've milked a goat, but it was like, hey, you want to try this? And I went over and tried it. It wasn't like a job or anything that I had. It was just visiting relatives that had animals with udders.
Yeah, it's about as far as my experience went on that. I'm not a big fan of warm milk either.
Are those your cows or your father's cows, or?
My uncle has a few. Yeah.
Your uncle?
Quite a few, actually. But
does he sell them for beef or?
Yeah. Occasionally he'll give us like half a cow. It's pretty good. Nothing beats fresh butchered cow.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting some sheep.
Oh yeah.
Some sheep for eating, not the wool kind, because he says he can get a pretty good return on those kinds of sheep, at least around here.
Okay.
But not for wool. That was kind of surprising. People are actually eating sheep. Lamb chops and such as that, I guess.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I ate a lamb.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I used to think veal was lamb, but it's not. Isn't it like calf?
Yeah,
So,
like that one I flew under with my drone.
yep.
He might be a hamburger by now. I don't know. It's been about a year.
Yeah, I went to a friend's house, and I don't know what kind of meat he had, but uh, he rented a van, drove down to Texas, got a cow. He had a van with a freezer in it, and like a chest freezer. So he bought the freezer, drove down to Texas, and then they filled it full of ice and the cow, like already butchered up.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back, and then they took the freezer and just put it in the garage.
Hey.
And
Hmm.
the so we went over to his house, and like he had a freezer full of cows. So he's like, "You guys want some steaks?" I was like, "Yeah." So he pulled out a steak that was as big as his charcoal grill. He had like a big round
Wow.
like Weber or whatever, and
Yeah.
the steak was that big, and he just sat it on it, and he took his tongs and flipped it over, and he cooked all of our steaks at once.
In one piece, right?
One piece, and then we just kind of cut pieces off of it and ate it. So but like what I'm used to is like, a 6-ounce cut or like a 12-ounce cut in the restaurant that's got a bone in it, and like I can look at it and tell what part of the cow it came from.
Mm-hmm.
But that steak, it was like they cut the side off of the cow, or like I was eating a butt cheek or something. I don't know what I was eating. But it was good. Had a lot of fat on it, so it was nice and tender when we ate.
That's the best taste.
But well, it's 8:00, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. You have any final words, Brent?
No final words. Just glad you're doing better. Good to see you.
Yeah. Last week sucked. So, Ray Kelly showed up. What's up, Ray?
Yeah.
I guess he's been here for a little while, and I hadn't seen him. Ray Kelly wants to know what you taste like. Oh wait, no, maybe not. He wants to know what possum tastes like.
Yeah.
That went somewhere it shouldn't have. Sorry.
Be honest with you, I haven't eaten it. I will confess.
You haven't eaten possum?
Haven't.
So your tag is a lie?
All lie. I'm
Man.
telling other people to eat more possum.
Here you go. I caught a possum once on a fishing pole.
In the water?
No, we used to go to a lake house when I was a kid, and I left the worm on my fishing pole, like on the hook, and I put it up against the cabin, and then went to bed.
Yep.
Woke up the next morning, there was a baby possum like on the hook.
Oh.
And so my dad got the needle nose pliers and cut the hook out of his mouth and let it go, and it kind of walked off, and then it went to a tree and just started climbing up the tree, and it went halfway up the tree and just stayed there, like it just not even up to a branch or anything. It was like just hanging on the tree. I was like, and I asked my dad, I was like, is it going to stay there? And he's probably.
Mm.
And so my dad said a litter and the mother probably walked through in the middle of the night, and it smelled something to eat, and it went over to grab it and got stuck.
Yeah.
So, yep. I caught a possum, and then my other possum story When I was in second grade, we had for Halloween we had a pinata, and we broke the pinata in the class, and we all got to get one thing and then go back, and then they say, okay, grab another thing. So it was fair. Everybody got to take the same amount of things home. And every time I went, I got a little rubber bouncy ball. And so when I got home, in our garage, I thought it'd be fun to just throw all those balls against the garage floor and then watch them all bounce around or whatever.
Yep.
And so in that garage against one wall, we had a window with like a shelf under it. And then in front of that, we had a chest freezer, and then the washer was on one side and the dryer was on the other side. And so one of my balls went behind the freezer. And so when I was a kid, how you get back there is you had to run and jump up onto the top of the freezer. And so I ran and I belly slid across the top of the freezer. And in the shelf that was underneath the window was a possum. And it looked me right in the face. And it was like it opened up its mouth real big.
I've seen them do that. Yeah.
And its mouth was bigger than my head was back then. And so I start screaming and, get my dad. And the reason it was in our garage is we used to have cats. We had a bunch of cats. And so we'd crack the garage door open so that the cats could come in and get food and water. And then they'd go out and hang out in the yard or whatever. And so that possum had found a nice warm place to sleep.
And terrify the poor kid.
Oh my gosh. And so my dad he got a 5-gallon bucket and a lid, got the possum in the bucket, and then we took it out in the woods and let it go. But that was one of the scariest things. I could still see it. Like I'm probably gonna have nightmares tonight of that. Because they're ugly, and they got the eyes, that big snout, and it was just like
and they can look really mean,
and they look like they're like balding, and like they just look like
mangy, right?
They're just ugly animals. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah. Well, I'm going to pull you off of here, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And thanks for hanging out, Brent.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Peace out. All right, y'all. That's another show for Sean Eyed Studios. Hope you guys had a good night. I felt like I just rambled all night, but it was a good night. I don't think there was much dead air, which we've had in the past. But right now, my schedule on the channel is to rock out the Insta360 One RS, compare it to the 1R, put it on drones, bicycles, maybe do some underwater stuff with it. But yeah, if you haven't signed up for Project Liquid, go to the link that's in the live chat. It's pinned at the top. That's the club where you can join, hang out with us on a weekly basis. We'll put some pictures and videos up there, and we'll all comment how awesome they are. But yeah, Project Liquid ends at the end of May, and we'll be giving away a t-shirt then. So hope y'all have a wonderful week. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out, y'all.